Hey, Keller Williams, Daniel the Tech Trainer here today to talk about the new email features in Design. This has been hyped for quite a bit behind the scenes. One of the biggest complaints that people had was that the emails that we're able to send out, though it's very nice being able to blast your database so easily, they just weren't as robust as they could be. So a lot of agents were having to go out to third parties and use various, additional cost programs in order to get some nice looking newsletters and things to their clients. And Keller Williams, specifically in Command, has answered and has given some new features that can really help make a more robust experience. All that being said, I am still going to use Canva for this just because it's my preferred. But at the same time, it certainly, has come leaps and bounds. So we do start in designs. You can also start in campaigns, but I'm going to go ahead and start in designs because maybe you're not doing a campaign. Maybe you're building something for a smart plan or something like that. So let's go ahead and go to designs. We're going to go over here and create a design and select email. Now with the new formatting, there are some new templates that have been created as well. Feel free to take advantage of those, especially if you have like some featured homes that you want to get out quickly or just listed. They already have all your information pre-uploaded or will automatically generate those in those emails for you. But for today's purposes, I'm going to show you more if you were doing like a newsletter or trying to get some more content with emails out to your mailing list. So up here at the top, I'm going to go ahead and just do this create new template. Now, right off the bat, there are 5 new options here that were not there before, and these are really going to be the foundation of creating a much better newsletter or just more robust email in general. These columns, even if you're just doing like something in the like singular on the page, putting these column boxes in here to kind of hold the design in place makes it much smoother whenever people are transitioning from different devices. So one of the biggest complaints that we were having, especially towards the end of the previous layout, is that it would look nice on a phone, but then if somebody pulled it up on a computer, it would look horrible. Or even on a phone, maybe there was like an atrocious amount of spacing or something like that. By adding these fields onto the design to kind of hold things in place, think of them as like containers, it really helps be able to put your content all together that they link together. So I'm going to kind of bounce around a little bit here, and there may be some kind of like hard cuts on this video just because I will be switching from program to program and I don't want to bore you to death with some of the details. But to give you an example here of what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to be creating a newsletter for my market center that I put out weekly. In the past, I was doing in a PDF format, but I have switched over to this because I'm able to add these links much easier now. So I'm just going to go ahead and hop over to Canva. Specifically, the newsletter I have is the week ahead. We had quite the storm last night, so I figured I'd go ahead and just put a rainbow there in the background for it's the light after the storm there. Hopefully, business-wise, things are that way for people as well. So I have this design, and I do want to adjust that just slightly to make sure it's even to the edges. A good practice to have. You'll notice I have like an off-white here in the background. every page that I have that I want to kind of link together is using that same off-white. And then I also use kind of this newsletter, newspaper style format here with the black boxes and such. So I'm just going to go ahead and download that particular one. And what's different is I'm going to go ahead and add a column to the design. Just like before, you just kind of drag it over here. And inside that column, now I'm going to drag the image. Now, you do have to add the image that you download, so I mean you're going from the computer, unless you were designing everything in Designs, in which case you can pull it from the images. Definitely a nice plus there. Alright, select it, save it. Okay, so I have the header for what I'm working on now. It is nice in case somebody does not have pictures enabled in their email. Some desktop clients will have that set up, things like that. It's good to go ahead and put alternative text in here. So I'm just going to put header for the week ahead. It looks like I've done the same thing before here. You'll also notice that whenever we've added this picture, things are looking a little bit different than they have in the past. You have some additional, like if you needed a border, you have the positioning. If you need container pads, that's just kind of like the space in between the picture and the size of that box we were talking about. And then also, this little guy here is going to help out tremendously whenever things go from device to device. So whenever we are going from the mobile to tablet to computer screen, if you set that width to a specific amount, that can ensure that it's only taking up, like in this case, we do want from side to side as much as possible. But maybe I didn't want that. Maybe I did want it to be kind of truncated down to 75% or something. We could change that. The link button is the same, just with this new format, it allows you to add a lot more links, in my opinion. You're not stuck with the link on top of link on top of link vertically on the page. We're able to get some side by side here. Also, you'll notice the lack of a done button. So whenever you have finished with this, in this particular situation, I'm just working with a picture here. You just hit this button and it goes back to what you're working on. You also have the save and close buttons. So along the way, if you just want to hit save to make sure that I need to put a name in here. New the week ahead. Actually, I'll just put for the week that we're doing. Let's see. I do this. I send it out on Fridays, but it's for the following Monday. So what's that? The 15th. 7. No, let's do it the right way. 7:15. All right. Now I can hit save up there, and it's saving the design. The next section I like to do on mine is going to be this double column. So now I can just drag this in, and you see the dotted lines there. So on the outer side, I don't know if I can grab it too well, right there beside the gold line, that's the previous column that I inserted. And then that inner gold line, that actually is showing it pretty good. That's showing where that previous picture is. So I'm going to put this 2 columns in here. And you notice how the dotted lines line up there. That's going to make a really nice layout on the newsletter so everything is nice and smooth. And I apologize here. It looks good in the actual preview. But the dynamic preview here seems to be having some issues. I did have that before, but it does, again, just like I showed you in this, it shows really well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this for just a little bit. I'm going to make some additional content, do this section, make some content, do this section. I'll keep popping in as I do some sections of content. Again, I just don't want to bore everyone to death here on things that you probably aren't very interested in seeing. So we'll be right back. right, so now we're going to add some of these pictures here, add some content rather. So I'm going to drag image over here into this column, add image, and let's promote our next team meeting first. Just going to click there and save. And we have a team meeting. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just leave it as team meeting. And we're going to do a web address here. Actually, let me reorganize this slightly for myself. Excuse me. Working on many things, of course. Let's see, team meeting. All right, so we're just going to copy that. And I like to always copy and paste the URLs directly from the URL bar up there, just to ensure that they are correct. If you ever want to test a URL to make sure that other people can see it properly, always do the sideways ellipsis button if you're using Chrome, new incognito, and just put that in. And by doing that, you're ensuring that without any cache, without being signed into any accounts, that people are able to see the content that you want them to see. We can just back out of that. We're going to throw a picture over here on this side. Add image. Let's see. Let's also tell them about the Hillsborough team meeting. Okay, and our office has a few offices. And we're going to do the same thing here. Just copy that and try to keep up with what tab you're in. Let's see. Okay, close that one. Drag another image. Just watch that green bar so that you can ensure you have it where you want it to be. You see how this shrunk down? So I know that it's going to go second place here. So. We have a survey seminar coming up. Again, y'all, exact same process. We're not doing anything different at this point. And what else do I have? Family Day. Let's see. Let's drag one more picture here. And add image. Family Day. Let's see, it should be this one. I have a little bit more work to do with this to make sure that it's awesome. I'm going to hit save here. Going to go ahead and preview just so we can see. So far, this is what our newsletter is looking like. And these are going to be live links whenever we actually send it out. So yeah, I'm going to dig a little bit more, or I'm going to create a little bit more here too. One thing before I go on to the next section, a new feature that was added as well, you'll notice up here at the top, you can also change the background. So if you have a favorite color that you want to do that you think thematically would work, you can change that color, and you can even change to an image. Obviously you have to be pretty careful with that. There can definitely be some interesting stretching and such that's going to occur with those. But that's just a really cool feature to just kind of set your emails just at a little bit higher level, especially than we've ever been able to do before. So I'm going to do a little bit more content here and then catch y'all back up. All right, not to bombard everyone with even more stuff, but I am going to go back to a single column here for a little bit. So I just wanted to show again, make sure that green line is showing the whole way across. Sometimes you got to be kind of careful with that. And then I have some longer pictures here. Now, I personally try to base everything off of a 1920 by 1080 ratio. So 1920 across, 1080 up and down. I do this just for consistency's sake. And then it also makes it easier. Once I have this 1920 by 1080s, then I can, if I needed something like half the size, let's say I wanted half height, I'd still stick with the 1920, but then I would just do like 540 or something like that. Probably a little bit more advanced than most of y'all need. And the new program with the newsletter seems to do a really good job of explaining things. Sorry. Of just kind of making things fit. So that's actually really nice with it. I really like having the, oops, I'm going way crazy on it. The very consistent, being able to just put links on so many things, really nice. And it makes it very much more interactive with people. So if they are interested in a particular thing, you're able to supply them with that. I'm going to have to remember to come back and do mine, because I don't have the link for this video yet, obviously, because I'm recording it, but I will add it afterwards. Okay. And as I go, I randomly will just hit the save button just to make sure, in case like my computer crashes or the website crashes or something like that, that it'll continue to be saving everything. All right, I will do a little bit more here, and then we'll finish up the video with the finishing touches and the last steps. All right, so I've added a little bit more content. I'm finishing things up. Now, something that you're always going to want to do before you send this out to everybody is use this options button here and hit the send test email. So whenever you do that, then you can actually see exactly how things are going to look. Now, if you've used any of the function things, so I'll throw one in here as an example. So let's say you had like the first name, something like that. Used any of these, those will not populate in this case, but everything else will. So you can see exactly how things are going to look. So I'm just going to hop in here and see how things are looking. And looking a little rough. I'm kind of concerned about my pictures here. We'll have to see what's happening. But at the same time, like, I know there's a problem before I send that out. So that's a really good thing. All right, so I fiddled around with it, and I did get all the pictures to come back. So yeah, at this point, now that I know that everything's working, I'm just going to save and close this, and then I can either put it into a campaign or a smart plan or what have you, whichever way you were going to distribute said email. So primarily, I just wanted to show you those new features. There may be some more features coming as well in the near future, but that is that in a glance, and I hope that it does help you and helps your business, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care.